Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be doing an analysis of one of my tournament matches. It is going to be round 1 of the Champions Cup, a tournament hosted by A-Drive and Wolf that got over 1,500 participants and a grand total prize of 5K if I remember correctly. Yeah, winner got 5K. So we're going to be analyzing one of my matches. This is going to be the analysis with the post commentary. If you want to see just a match with sped up and music, no commentary, I will be uploading that later. But let's get started and basically get this analysis underway. It's been a while since I've done post commentary, so I hope I'm not too rusty, but I'll be giving you my thought process behind all the plays that I make throughout the tournament. I recorded all my matches, which was 10 rounds. I finished top 32. So yeah, we're gonna get started with this round 1 match against Momo, and yeah, it was a pretty fun tournament. I actually really did enjoy playing online tournaments. I might play more again. I'm not exactly too sure how, because I'm not a huge fan of online tournaments. I just feel like I never play well in these for some reason. But yeah, maybe if more people want to see me play online tournaments, maybe if you want to watch me stream it, I do stream on Twitch, by the way, twitch.tv/JamesWBeck, link in the description down below. But if you want to see me playing some more online tournaments, be sure to hit that like button. Maybe if I hit 150 likes on this video, I will play another online tournament and stream this one. I didn't stream this one and record because I just want to get back into that tournament setting, so I was just recording this. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm running the team of Dustclops, Dragapult, SABLEYE, Arcanine, Milotic, Ferrothorn. This was a team basically edited from Hirafumi, but I made some adjustments. We got Momo here with the team of Corviknight, Raichu, Lapras, Alcremie, Dragapult, and Arcanine. Forgot what that Pokemon's name was for a second. But right here, I felt like overall, I felt the matchup was pretty okay for me. The Lapras is kind of annoying for my team if it sets up, and I knew my opponent was probably going to lead Lapras. It's pretty solid against most of my Pokemon, and I felt like you were either going to lead the Raichu or the Alcremie, because Alcremie, if it can set up Lapras with Decorate, it's actually a pretty big threat to my team. Like, nothing on my team really likes to take that Lapras's attacks, especially at +2, Gmax, Resonance. It's going to make it annoying, because even though I have weakness policy on my Dragapult, like that Lapras is still going to be able to eat up the +2 max move. So yeah, I knew that what my game plan was. I was going to lead Dragapult, SABLEYE, because I knew that Lapras was leading. They always lead Lapras. They always lead Lapras when they have a Lapras team. So I can just trick the Lapras. As you can see, I have the eject button on my SABLEYE, and it catches them off guard. And I know that I can go for this game 1s of these kinds of situations, especially if they're not expecting it. And if you don't lead Lapras, like if I expected Dynamax, I can eject it out. Or I could just go for the Shadow Sneak, get my policy with my Dragapult. So we'll see how this goes, but Alcremie and Lapras is led here, and yeah, I do end up leading my Dragapult and SABLEYE here. So basically what I expected, I know that this is going to be a Dynamax from the Lapras, so I know I can go for the Steel Spike to boost my defense up and trick the Lapras. I know that Alcremie is going to get a free Decorate onto Lapras. Even if I'm able to get rid of Lapras, it's a Dynamax Pokemon that's going to get ejected out forcefully. But the only problem with this is what comes in after, and I definitely expected Dragapult, so I had to make sure that I was playing this right, because if it was a special Dragapult, like, it could have been a problem. But yeah, I feel like overall, I felt like it wouldn't have been too bad, because I'm pretty sure that I could just not, like, I get rid of the Gmax, I get rid of that Aurora Veil, or prevent Aurora Veil from being set up. So I felt like it was okay with making this trade, even if Dragapult comes in. As long as it's not special Dragapult, it shouldn't knock me out, because I got the Steel Spike boost. And if it is special Dragapult, I'm pretty sure I'll live Alcremie's Dazzling Gleam, and I'll be able to knock out the Dragapult with the Foul Play afterward. And if it's like a Sash variant for some reason, I can just Shadow Sneak it the following turn. So I do go straight for the Trick Play turn 1 into the Lapras, as I will give it that eject button, and I get to see its item, which does turn out to be a weakness policy set, which I'm not surprised about, as I will go for that max Steel Spike and do a little bit of damage. It's not booster or anything, so I'm not surprised, as we will get that defense up with both of my Pokemon. And the Lapras is going to be forced to eject out. So SABLEYE put in some work right here. SABLEYE was a Pokemon that I adjusted from Hirafumi's team, because I never brought Mimikyu when I was playing this team on ladder. I do stream with the team. I have been doing well with this team. It was kind of a risky move, but SABLEYE was a Pokemon I wanted to try out for a long time recently. And yeah, I'm glad it worked out. So the Dragapult's going to come out as, yeah, it is going to be scary depending on what the Dragon Ball set is. I do want to find out if it's physical or special. I did think it was going to be physical based on the team composition, because I felt like my opponent didn't have much physical presence on the opposing team. So I'm going to go for Steel Spike now Creamy because I want that defense boost. And I'm going to just go for the foul play into the Dragapult. I don't know where the Sash is going to be on the team, but I'm assuming it's the Raichu. So I don't think that Alcremie will be Focus Sash. So I'm just going to go for that Steel Spike into it, as Dragon Rush is actually revealed from my opponent's Dragapult, which actually doesn't do too much even at +2 because of my +1 defense, and I am Dynamax, which activates my weakness policy. So my opponent just letting me get that boost right here, as I will go for the Steel Spike and knock out the Alcremie, which is absolutely beautiful because getting rid of that Alcremie means it does not have the Focus Sash. It makes it easier to play in future games if we do go to game 2, or well, we're going to go into game 2, but if we go into game 3, and I am able to get a foul play off into the Dragapult slot, which is actually able to pick up that knockout, and no Focus Sash is revealed on the Dragapult. So able to get rid of 2 knockouts. I already denied my opponent Dynamax. I think this game's pretty much over for my opponent. There's not really much of a combination that my opponent could have that could really beat me down, as we will see Corviknight here, and we will see the Lapras once again. And right here, I'm like, okay, I just dish out damage. There's really no need to really predict anything. So I'm like, is there anything or any way I could really lose this game? I might as well just go for Max Phantasm into... I think I targeted the Lapras slot because I had Arcanine in the back to deal with the Corviknight anyway, so I thought I might as well just target the Lapras. And I could just taunt the Corviknight to prevent any setup. So like, the Corviknight's basically useless because the damage it's doing is going to be pretty poor after the defense bust from the Steel Spike, because I'm at +2 defense with both Pokemon, and it can't set up like Iron Defense or Bulk Up, or even Tailwind if that's the case. We do get the Max Phantasm off in the Lapras, no Protect, and Lapras does drop. We are +2 with the Dragapult. So Mirror Armor doesn't affect me because I do have that Clear Body, and Lapras drop. So this game, pretty much a wrap right here. As, yeah, we actually revealed it's a Tailwind set, so I don't have to worry about Body Press most likely, which I am very relieved of, because like, it's kind of annoying to deal with Body Press because my best way to deal with this Corviknight is my Arcanine. So yeah, that's pretty good. I will just go for Phantom Force here, and I think I go for Trick here to confirm what the item was on the Corviknight. Yep, I do go for the Trick just to reveal that item on Corviknight, because I do want to figure it out, see what kind of item it is. It's good for best of 3 information, so that's why I really like Trick on the Sableye. It can get rid of a Dynamax Pokemon, it can allow me to scout, and I do find out it's actually a leftovers on the Corviknight right here. I could have also went for the Trick by Dragapult, another weakness policy if I wanted to. This Corviknight I think revealed Flash Cannon, which I was like, what? What kind of Corviknight set is this? They never really went Flash Cannon. You never see Flash Cannon. So I'm like, what? Okay. That's kind of strange, but I'm just going to go for Phantom Force and Foul Play, just see how much damage it does to the Corviknight. It does a pretty solid amount to the Corviknight, as 75% isn't bad. Air Slash is going to come out into the Sableye here, as Sableye flinches, but it really doesn't matter at this point. I get the leftovers recovery, but I already know that this game is over. I'm already thinking about game 2. Taunt wears off, and there's no reason to even show that I have Dragon Darts. I'm just going to go for another Phantom Force, I think, and I just go for another Taunt right here, because might as well keep my opponent guessing if I'm Dragon Darts or Dragon Claw. Most of these weakness policy Dragapults do run Dragon Darts, but you know, just if I don't have to show information, like I don't have to, right? So we'll go for the Phantom Force right here. Air Slash going to come out into the Sableye. My opponent reset, but like, even if my opponent read that, like, it just didn't matter at this point. This Corviknight's not beating my team. Like, all my Montana at this point, my opponent can't even recover with Roost because I did taunt it. And yeah, I just am able to Phantom Force knock out this Corviknight, and I'm gonna take a 4-0 41st game, which is pretty nice because this is the first time I actually used Sableye. I had the Sableye for a while now. Again, I was thinking of using it, but it was actually on a different team. It did have Dragapult though, so yeah, I'm really glad it worked out because the Sableye just already putting in some good work here. As yeah, we're gonna go into game 2, and I felt like game 2, like, it just didn't matter, like, because I felt like both modes I had, so I could either lead double Ghost here with Sableye, Dragapult once again. I even thought that my original mode with the Milotic, Arcanine, Ferrothorn, and Dusclops, which is the secondary mode of this team, is really good against my opponent's team as well. So like, no matter what, I felt pretty good about my position. No matter which mode I brought, because like look at my opponent's Fairphone and my loading answers under Trick Room. Like if I haze away any boost, like Dust Clops just puts in a ton of work. So yeah, I feel like just Dragapult Sableye here was actually just good again, because like if I need to adjust, I'll do it in game 3, because there's no really point of adjusting, because like my opponent really just saw no information. There was no information from my opponent's side. So I'm gonna go Arcanine and my Milotic here because of the fact that I just don't think I need Ferrothorn if I can just easily handle the Lapras. Like if you save Lapras for the end game, it's not as good because it's just you don't get the Veil Up, which a lot of these teams do rely on with Lapras. So like I'm not really scared of Lapras as much, especially if it gets weakened or takes the boost, as we're gonna see Dragapult Arcanine lead this time, which is an interesting adjustment. I was not expecting this, as I do lead Dragapult plus Sableye. I actually missed the couple of turns and I thought Intimidate went off, but apparently it's not. It's actually the Justified Arcanine, so Dragapult most likely kills beat up. I didn't actually notice, but so my plays were to, I think, trick the Arcanine, because I just did, like, I thought my opponent might go for like an attack in the Sableye to get rid of the Jax button, but I go for Taunt in the Arcanine because I'm like, the Dragapult on my opponent's side can't knock me out. Neither can the Arcanine. If I taunt it, I want to avoid a Will-O-Wisp if potential. Like if you go for Phantom Force with Dragapult, it's fine to avoid my thing, because I just get a free KO into a Dragapult with Foul Play the next turn. Or like I just have so many plays, I feel like, if that's the case. Unfortunately, I did not realize the beat up Justified was a thing. So when I saw the Dynamax Arcanine, I'm like, wait, is this beat up? I was so confused for a second. I'm like, oh, I probably missed it. So this kind of could have went bad here. I think I went for Max Dragon into the Dragapult just in case it was like Crunch Arcanine. I wanted to make sure I didn't take too much. So I do taunt the Arcanine. If I eject button it, oh my, that would have just been game. My opponent would have activated, but here comes the beat up. So this Arcanine is going to get +4 attack from this Dragapult right here, and I'm like, oh no. At least it's gonna be +3 only because of the fact that I did go for Max Dragon. I'm pretty sure I can live an attack with my Dragapult, but it's still a pretty rough position because it really just depends on A, what my opponent has in the back, and B, how fast is this Arcanine, because I have no idea what the speed tier is on this Arcanine. If it's max speed, I could be playing in dangerous waters right here. But I do go for the Max Dragon here into the Dragapult, so I at least pick up a knockout, which is pretty solid. So that means the Arcanine's only going to be at +3, which is, you know, it's still a boosted Arcanine with a Dynamax move, so it's still really strong. So we're going to see that Max Steel Spike come out to boost its defense. It's going to come out on a Sableye, and I was hoping I survived this because I was actually pretty physically defensive, but apparently I didn't. So yeah, unfortunate. Sableye does go down. I can't go for the Stealth Shadow Sneak. I can't go for the trick. Unfortunate. Sableye was putting in work though, and I'm okay with it going down because I just go back into Arcanine right here because I want that Intimidate off into the Arcanine to make sure, like, I'm not dealing with Max Darkness here. I really don't want to play a Max Darkness game, but I felt like if my opponent had my opponent would have went for it. So I'm already scratching Max Darkness from the board right here as the Lapras comes in, and here I'm like, okay, I'm not boosted, so I need damage from the Lapras. My opponent's probably just going to Steel Spike again. I can't afford to lose a Pokemon here because I feel like if I lose Arcanine here, I'm going to be in a really rough spot, especially if this Arcanine has an Electric type move. Basically that Wild Charge, that could be a threat. So I'm like debating on what I really want to do for damage output, and I think I do go for, oh no, I targeted Arcanine slot because I thought Lapras might protect here to scout what I was going to do. Also, I wasn't really worried because, like, if Lapras went for like Freeze Dry into my Dragapult, like, my opponent activated the policy, so I wasn't really worried about the opponent's Lapras like immediately. I did want Chip into Arcanine because I think I want to try to put it in range. Or basically, I gotta chip it down because, like, if it does have Wild Charge, I'm in a bit of trouble because my Milotic is probably slower than this Arcanine. Steel Spike gonna come out from this Arcanine, going to boost that defense here, do an okay amount to Dragapult, but luckily it's just not doing too much, as Hydro Pump does come out into the Arcanine slot. And since the Lapras is not protecting, I feel like, okay, I need to get rid of this Lapras. I need to keep the Pokemon count alive. So even though I could try to lower the attack, the Arcanite's not like too much of a threat. It's only a +1. So I'm gonna go for the Max Phantasm to weaken the Lapras, as well as put it in that lowers defense to put it in that close combat range, because I know Life Orb close combat will knock it out. Because regular Lapras is just not like super bulky. Dynamax is what makes it like be able to tank all those attacks. So, and there's no Veil up, so I'm able to get a knockout into Lapras by doubling it up. So goodbye Lapras. So Lapras does go down, and that was a pretty big threat because that Lapras did wall my Milotic in the back and could have done a ton to my Dragapult afterwards. So able to knock out the Lapras, as Steel Spike gonna come out once again. So this Arcanine is gonna be a +3 defense, which is kind of insane, as we do see that Steel Spike boost its defense. Taunt gonna wear off, but I don't think that really matters at this point. And I'm also really curious on what this Arcanine set is running, because I don't know what item it's holding. It's not Life Orb. So we do see the Raichu come out here as the last Pokemon. I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of a rough position. So I think my play was to Dragon Darts here, because like that Raichu, if it's Focus Sash, it lives any attack here. I thought about Phantom Forcing, but I felt like that didn't give me enough. I felt like I had to hope that Dragapult survived, and I thought I would survive an attack from the Arcanine. If you double up my Dragapult, that's fine, because of the fact that I get my Milotic and Arcanine, and I'm pretty sure like after some chip I'm gonna be able to beat down my opponent with my own Arcanine, but I just wasn't sure at this point. I'm gonna go my Milotic here, just to take any attack or fake out potentially, and there was a fake out actually, which I wasn't too surprised about. I thought my opponent would go straight for like an electric type move, but that ends up being better for me as I don't take as much damage. Dragon Dart's able to crit the Arcanine too, which is good. That's really good for me, as I'm able to bring that Arcanine low, which means my Arcanine could probably 1v1 it now, guaranteed. So I'm bringing out my Arcanine, getting that Intimidate off, so now this Arcanine's only a +1. Or no, excuse me, neutral, and the Raichu's gonna be -1 attack. So, cause that fake out did a lot of damage. I wasn't sure if this was like Volt Tackle on the Raichu, so that could have been really scary. If it is Volt Tackle Raichu, it might knock out my Milotic here. I gotta get rid of the Raichu, and I have to attack here with my Milotic because I don't have Protect on this Milotic. I have Recover, so yeah. I will just go for the Flare Blitz and the Raichu, because that's probably the Pokemon that does the most damage, especially if it has Thunderbolt. So I will go for the Flare Blitz, and it actually reveals for some reason that the Raichu is actually slower on my opponent's side. So that's like a 100% win right here, as I am able to eliminate the Raichu, and I do take the recoil. But yeah, I was just so surprised about that, as we do see the Psychic Fangs into the Milotic. It actually does absolutely nothing, and Muddy Water will come out into the Arcanine to finish it off. So able to win game 2. Like, even if I lost game 2, like, I wasn't really scared, because like I found out it was beat up Arcanine, or Justified Arcanine would beat up Dragapult. So all I have to do is trick it, and my opponent can never get that strategy set up. So I felt like I was okay with that position. Like, the next time all I would have to do is, like, if my opponent leads that again and we go to game 3, all I have to do is just click beat. I just have to click Trick into the Arcanine slot, and I'll just Max Dragon the Dragapult once again. If you protect Arcanine or switch out, it doesn't matter. You're not, the Dragapult's most likely going down unless you Phantom Force, and even if you Phantom Force, I get a pin next turn to knock out the Dragapult regardless. And like, not really much you could really do, because like tricking Eject Button is really bad for my opponent no matter what Pokemon it is, because it just gets rid of an item and kind of makes that Pokemon a lot less useful to my opponent. So I felt like overall, like, my opponent was going to be in a position where you have a useless Pokemon, and yeah, it just didn't seem good for my opponent regardless. So yeah, that's going to be it for round 1 of this tournament. Probably not the... I mean, the team was alright. It wasn't exactly like the highest level thing, but we are in round 1, and there was like a bunch of new players in the tournament, so not sure how much experience my opponent had, but they did have a pretty scary team. If, you know, I didn't have to Sableye. Sableye putting in a ton of work, last minute change to the team, but ended up putting the team on his back. But I hope everyone enjoyed today's video of this analysis. Let me know any feedback you have on my post commentary, as I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this video, if I want to like pause in between turns, because like I recorded the matches with like how it was normally timed. But let me know if you want me to go a bit slower with my analysis, like maybe pause in between turns, or if this is alright, because I felt like I didn't want to make it too slow, but it could have also been too fast. So let me know in the comments down below, because it's been a while since I done post commentary analysis. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, we're gonna have more matches coming soon. Again, there's going to be a version of this video where it's just going to be the match sped up and no commentary. So if you're interested in rewatching this video and just watching the match by itself without the commentary analysis, I'll be uploading that soon. But yeah, otherwise you can check out my other content. There is VGC Back to Battles, my daily VGC series, as well as you can check out my live streams as I mentioned before. And yeah, let me know what you thought, and yeah, looking forward to uploading the rest of the battles that I had, because I had some really good sets throughout the tournament. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch you all later.